Alrighty, that'll wrap up week 2 of Minnesota Vikings preseason. So let's go ahead and get into a few quick things here because, as you may or may not know, I'm at work and stuff like that. So just go ahead and kind of boil down a few quick things here. Well, first of all, the Vikings have fallen to the Tennessee Titans by a score of 24-16 on a night where, let's just say, there was a lot of things to be desired here. First and foremost, the penalties. Come on, fellas. Between pre-snap, post-snap, holdings, you name it. Oli Udo looking like absolute dog manure tonight. And, yeah, again, that has nothing to do with, if you're an NFL caliber player or not, or this or that, or if you're even going to be on the roster come week 1. That is just basic football right there. Discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. Making sure you get off this ball correctly. Make sure you're running your routes correctly. Make sure you're using your hands correctly. That's just basic football. And there were a lot of penalties tonight. I'm not exactly sure how many total, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was over 10. Yeah. And of course, because of that, point number 2, the Minnesota Vikings could not get anything going on offense. For the most part, between Nick Mullins and Jaron Hall, Nick Mullins had a few good plays, but at the beginning he looked very shaky. And, it resulted in 3 Greg Joseph field goals. However, those special teams did have a pretty good night tonight, all things considered, especially recovering that weird botched punt, which did result in 3 points. But, yeah. Not good. Otherwise, it just, some frustrating things there. But again, special teams were pretty good tonight. Defense, the run defense couldn't stop a dang cold or a beach ball. But again, a lot of third, fourth string guys who probably aren't even going to be on the team come week 1. And not to mention, it's the Tennessee Titans. They're one of 2 teams in the entire league, if not one of the only teams in the entire league, that still runs a downhill. Basically, you think of Minnesota Vikings circa 2008, 2009, when it was basically the Adrian Peterson show. And, it's going to be interesting to see who the backup will be there. And, of course, it was also kind of interesting, too, that they played most of their, first and, second, maybe a little bit of third string. For the most part, it was a lot of starters and backups. And Malik Willis played all but, 3 snaps. And then, they had one of their, third or fourth or fifth string receivers taking a couple snaps, which was interesting. And, like I say, just, again, 24-16 loss in preseason doesn't mean much, but there's, it's more so how did everything look? And unfortunately, for most of it, it looked kind of, granted though, at the end though, the Vikings did get their stride and Dwayne McBride did have a nice touchdown at the end. But, yeah, that'll pretty much wrap this up. Really don't have a whole lot else to say here because, again, it is preseason. Most of these guys, like I say, and I'll keep saying, probably won't even be here week 1 or whatnot. So, yeah, I'm not panicking too much at this point. But until we meet again, though, this is Jacob. Have a good day, and boy, September 10th cannot get here fast enough.